Hello, BookTube. Welcome back to the History Shelf. I'm so excited for this book haul. My name is Peg, by the way. So it's been a minute since I've done a Hamilton book book haul. As many of you know, HamiltonBook.com is one of my favorite go-to places for bargain books that are affordable. They are brand new. They may or may not have a remainder mark on them. That's really the only slight that you will find on these books. And it's not an overly big haul. I don't think it is. I've done two-parters on some of these Hamilton book hauls where I've had, close to 25 books. We're not approaching those levels on this haul. We're approaching levels of 15. 15, okay? That's still pretty decent. What's special about this book haul? So I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. I came across this in my searches. I can filter searches. Yes, I am steeped in the art of finding bargain books. Hamilton Book just got an influx of copies from the esteemed Franklin Library. Franklin Library, I think they were a subscription, like a mail order subscription at some point, where they give you like a leather bound book, and they're all signed first editions, which is crazy. I just found a bunch of them. Now, some of them didn't appeal to me because they were like contemporary writers or whatever, but I picked up 4 that are just going to look outstanding on my shelves. And plus, they're going to be great reads and books I've been meaning to read and haven't yet. But I wanted to actually show you what arrived in my Hamilton book package, because the Franklin Library books were still in their moldy. You can tell they've been sitting in a warehouse somewhere at the Franklin Library. What I'm going to do is I opened up one box so I can just kind of show you how they are packaged. And then the other 3 we're going to open live. Well, when you watch it, it won't be live, but we're going to open it right here in real time on this channel. But let's go ahead and start with the Franklin Library titles that I picked up, because that's the primo draw on this book haul, everybody. Let's see here. So I picked out one that I'm going to show you. I took it out of the package. Let's see here. And I will also give you the tips on how to find these Franklin Library editions without having to, scroll through endless pages of fiction, literature filters. You go into the advanced search button on the Hamilton Book site, and I will link Hamilton Book below in the description box. You hit the advanced search or power search. Where it says publisher, hit the drop-down menu. Scroll down until you find Franklin Library. Put in Franklin Library. That's all you need to do. Then hit search. And then boom. I'm telling you, the most expensive one I found was $11.95. Okay, and we're talking a leather-bound signed first edition. Some were as low as $6.95. Most of them kind of ranged around $7.95, $9.95. Okay, but considering what you would pay at the Franklin Library back in the, I don't even know if they're still operating. But anyway, I picked up 4 books. And so within my larger book haul, and I'll get to the other books that I picked up as well. This has never happened in a Hamilton book haul before. I had four of these stacked up in the inside of my Hamilton book box. So you can see Franklin Library. Look how like discolored it is. It has been like just moldering away in some warehouse. Okay. So we're going to open these up, but let me in the meantime show you when you open up that box, then you see this. Okay. And it just has this cover sheet that says the Franklin Library. Important subscriber message, right? And this is how you're going to open it. I got a knife here. You use a knife and gently just cut there. And so they put this in so you won't ruin the book, obviously. But I think this was the most expensive one I picked up. It's $11.95. But let me go ahead and open it because I'm going to be showing you live on this channel what it's going to look like. So we're going to do that. ASMR moment for you. Probably didn't hear that. Anyway, okay. We'll get that good crinkle going. There you go. Free it from its constraints. So yeah, we had like it's protecting it. Oh, and it smells wonderful. The gilded pages. I remember these smells. I don't know. Yes, this is, oh my God, this is an old, look at how old, this was included with it. Oh, this is an old-timey pop sheet. You guys, oh, I'm saving this. This is going inside the book. I'm going to read this to you when I show you the book. Okay, so what did I get? A beautiful volume. Oh, it smells so good. Gold gilded edges, you know, whatever. It's gorgeous. Look at that cover. Can you guess what this is? This is The Long March by Harrison E. Salisbury. Signed first edition. Ooh, nice. Ooh. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh my goodness. It just creaks open and it's so beautiful. I might have to buy more of these. This is this limited first edition of The Long March has been privately printed and personally signed by Harrison E. Salisbury exclusively for members of the Signed First Edition Society. I'm guessing that society no longer exists. Anyway, ooh, look at that. I don't know if you can tell, but this line up here is red underneath his name. So there's some color in here. I like it. We have a special message for the first edition from Harrison E. Salisbury. Oh, and then you get the artwork. Wow. You guys, these are a steal. I mean, if you're not interested in picking something up like this at rock bottom prices, and I'm sorry for all you guys over in, guys and gals over in the UK, Canada, I mean, you might pay an arm and a leg for shipping, but yeah, and of course, it's just the price is prohibitive. I don't think you can buy these books in the UK, but look at this. Wow. The Long March, The Untold Story, first edition. Oh my gosh, guys. It comes with a ribbon marker, obviously. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a reading experience bar none. Okay. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, and it even comes with pictures. It would be in any other version, obviously. So, yeah, this is a work of history, The Long March. I'm just blown away by this. I'm just oohing and awing with you, right? So let me read what this handy dandy old pup sheet says. Dear collector, is what it says. Ooh, I'm a collector now. Few have written about epic events of the 20th century as vividly as Harrison E. Salisbury. A veteran United Press and New York Times correspondent, he won the Pulitzer Prize for International Reporting in 1955 for his coverage of the Soviet Union, and has produced many classic books on that country, such as The 900 Days, The Siege of Leningrad, and Black Night, White Snow, Russia's Revolutions, 1905 to 1917. When Mr. Salisbury writes history, he has literally followed in the footsteps of those who made it, which is why his newest offering, the first full account of the Chinese Red Army's retreat from Chiang Kai-shek's nationalist forces 50 years ago, is such compelling reading. The author took this same long march. And according to the gentleman who wrote this letter, he goes, and I couldn't put down his book. Oh, this is great. To get the story, Mr. Salisbury, along with his wife, Charlotte, Former State Department China expert John S. Service and several Chinese guides spent 2.5 arduous months retracing the route taken by Mao Zedong and his comrades. The Salisbury Party traversed China's harshest terrain, snow-peaked mountain ranges and treacherous marshlands covering 7,400 miles. He explains in the opening chapter of the book that only the journey over the actual ground could convey a feeling of what Mao and his men and women endured. Of the 86,000 long marchers who started out from southern Jiangxi province that autumn of 1934, only 4,000 made it to Shanxi in the north a year later. When you read Mr. Salisbury's harrowing narrative of the march, based on interviews given by survivors and on records from the Chinese government never before made available to scholars, you'll see why this event stands as a testament to human will. And then I'm going to jump down to the last paragraph. It says, I'd also like to take this opportunity to point out an unusual detail in your signed limited first edition of the Long March. On the signature page, you will also find Harrison E. Salisbury's name. Oh, that's what that is. Translated into Chinese ideographs, which have been hand-stamped with his own chop, and that's in quotations, chop, a personal seal created for him in China. When Mr. Salisbury suggested this highly distinctive touch, we were delighted, hoping it would afford you special pleasure. It's awarding me special pleasure. And here it is. Here is his Chinese chop. Let me get back to that page. There's his ideograph, his chop. Right there. How neat. Yeah, when was this published? This was 1985 for the Franklin Library. So that one I definitely paid $12 for. I said, yes, thank you. Now, I'm going to put this inside. It's a nice little touch. What do you guys think? Should I press on? Do you want to see more Franklin Libraries? Let's do it. So here's another one. And all right. Ooh. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah. The next one I picked up because I was planning on getting this book anyway. Then I saw they had a Franklin Library edition for like $7.95, which I'm gonna go ahead and open this up for everybody. You're probably gonna laugh at me like, Peg, why in the hell would you? Just because I'm interested. This is okay. This is. Oh, this video might be long because I still have like 8 other regular books to show you. But these are just so beautiful. So here's the design on this cover. This one seems like it's even bigger. Are these the same size? They are. But how beautiful. Yeah, I picked up On the Firing Line by William F. Buckley Jr. Judge away. If you want to judge. Okay. Oh, it comes with that handy dandy slip of paper. I'm not going to read all these to you. Obviously, it's just going to take too much time. But beautiful. What do you call it? Dust jacket, end notes, end papers, whatever. Oh, that's not much of a signed. That's not much of a signature. It looks like Larry. Okay. Anyway. Okay, we got a little artwork on the front page. This has a really nice weight to it. This feels like a substantial book, so if you're like just sitting back in your chair and holding it, it's a beautiful aesthetic, and it just feels wonderful. Yeah, this just talks about his years making Firing Line, which was a one-of-a-kind program that we just don't have anymore, because this was a place where people could actually debate who disagreed with one another, often virulently, but they did it in a mostly civilized manner. No, they did. They did. I was thinking of that time when, I think it was the Democratic National Convention, I think of 68 or something, and, Gore Vidal and William F. Buckley Jr. were doing the commentary for that, and that got pretty heated. But Firing Line itself, you can watch old episodes on YouTube, and it's very smart. It's a very smart program. And people could articulate their positions without resorting to hysterics, emotion, demonization, all that good stuff that everyone relies on now to try to win arguments, which doesn't win with me. Anyway, it's just another time. It was just another time. So I wanted a book that kind of would just maybe take me back to that time a little bit. And so this book will take you into some of the transcripts from the show, and some of the debates. Great, like chapter 4, debates. The design is wonderful. Oh my gosh. And it's not just nonfiction that they have these Franklin Library editions available for on Hamilton, guys. They have novels, and I think I have got the next 2 are novels, I think. So, but anyway, this is beautiful. This is over 500 pages of just gilt, gold dusted edges. It's got a good feel. I don't know why they, I guess they're just trying to clean out a warehouse somewhere. So now Hamilton Book is selling these. So I'm excited to share this with you guys. I want to hear if you guys have found something that you want to own, a couple of beautiful editions like this on your shelf. Let me know. Let me know if you go there, because this is why I'm doing this. I'm just like, I have to let BookTube know about this because it's just amazing. All right, so let me do one more. Well, I got 2 more of these. Make it real quick here. I'll try to see if we get a work of literature here, or fiction. Yes. Okay, so I have never read this author, and this I'm really excited about, because I was like, well, if I'm going to try to read this author, why not do it in a beautiful, handsomely bound book? This one has a nice, rich red color, and you'll know why shortly. Oh, now look at this. Look at this. And I'm telling you, it smells wonderful. It just smells beautiful. This is The Red and the Black by Stendhal. This is not a signed edition, because that author, had been dead for a long time, but still, look at this. The Red and the Black. Now, it's red to me from this distance. I don't know if you can see the red. It looks like it's black. But anyway. Again, with a special message for subscribers. This time to the Oxford Library of the World's Great Books. Yeah, I have never read Stendhal, and The Red and the Black sounded interesting to me. So it's translated here by Charles Turgey with the illustrations of Jean-Paul Quint. Oh, yes, and so this is an Oxford University Press edition. Is this? But I think I found it among the Franklin. Yes. Was this among the Franklin Library? Yes. It says here, sorry, there's some confusion. The Franklin Library has been selected by the Oxford University Press as publishers of this book. So that's why it kind of looks and feels like this. Let's see if I can show you some artwork in here. Ooh. I don't know. I'm so excited. I want to hear that some of you are like rushing over to Hamilton right now to find some of these things, I don't have my price sheet with me, but I'm telling you, I think this one I might have paid $9.95 for. it could have been less, but the most expensive one I spent on was the Long March, and again that was $11.95. But a lot of these are way cheaper. They've got works on there from like Joseph Rousseau, Norman Mailer, a bunch of different fiction writers, and oh, they had a beautiful. Oh, I might have to go back and get it, unless this is it. They had a Vanity Fair by William Thackeray. They had Vanity Fair in a Franklin lot. Now that one was a bit more. I think it was more than $11.95. I can't remember, but go check it out. No, okay, so I didn't get that one, but I might go back and get it. I didn't realize how beautiful these books were. I don't know why I am doing that. Okay. Wow, that one did not want to go. This one's a little bit different. This one is, these are journals. Back in my teens, I had a volume of this gentleman's poetry and essays or memoirs. It might have been part of his journals, but I kind of wanted to go back because this guy was in the mix of things at a very just a fecund period in time in history. And this is an English writer and poet, Peggy. One moment, please. 21 minutes on just my Franklins. I'm telling you. Okay. So this one I really wanted to get because you got your bang for your buck, and I wanted to revisit his stuff. This is like a darker maroon. This is Stephen Spender's journals, 1939 to 1983, signed first edition. I'm telling you. All right, what do we have here? Let me see if I can find that. Where's your signature? Well, here's the frontispiece. Edited by John Goldsmith. Did he get a chance to sign it before he... let's see here. Yes, he did! Woo! Even if you didn't want to keep these, the resale on this would be really good. I mean, come on. Oh, wow. So yeah, his journals that take you all the way up to 1983. This book is almost 500 pages. Beautiful. I love diaries, letters, journals, and this is what this is. So, Stephen Spender, his journals. What do you think about them apples, you guys? Again, I think I'm gonna go back and see if I can get Vanity Fair, because I've heard everyone, it's a big favorite with a lot of booktubers out there who are into classics, and I'm trying to add more classics to my reading list outside of just history all the time. But anyway, so these are 4 beautiful editions. I talk about the red and the black. The red and the black right there. I'll probably do one of each, like black, red, black, red. I mean, this is the highlight. This is going to be on the thumbnail. That's it, and that's all. Wow. So go check it out. And then come back here and comment and tell me what you found. These things excite me to no end, as you can tell. Okay, now we're going back just to your regular standard books. Okay, so I think we're gonna do okay with this video. We're not gonna be too long. So I saw this book, little paperback edition, super cheap. Let me take a quick sip of my London Fog. I had read Elie Wiesel's Night already. But I don't think people know that it was a trilogy, because there's night, day, and then this one. So I snapped it up. It's Twilight. Winner 1986 Nobel Peace Prize. A little volume here, 217 pages, and I just had to get it. Holocaust survivor Raphael Lipkin is a man obsessed. He hears voices. He talks to ghosts. He longs to talk to Pedro, the man who rescued him from post-war Poland and brought him to Paris as a 15-year-old orphan, becoming his friend, mentor, and savior. But Pedro disappeared inside the prisons of Stalin's Russia shortly after the war. Where is Pedro now, and how can Raphael discern what is true and what is false without him? Raphael searches for answers at the Mountain Clinic, a psychiatric hospital in upstate New York that specializes in patients whose delusions spring from the Bible. Amid patients calling themselves Adam, Cain, Abraham, Joseph, Jeremiah, and God, Raphael searches for Pedro's truth and the meaning of his own survival. As he converses with the patients, he interrogates his own memory and probes the mysteries of good and evil, joy and suffering, madness and resilience. Taking its place alongside Night and Day, Twilight completes the trilogy of a master's work. So, if you're going to go shopping at Hamilton Book and you haven't read anything by Elie Wiesel, definitely read Night. They didn't have Day, but I think I got that somewhere. But I know I haven't read Twilight, so I'd like to go ahead and finish that one up for the trilogy. Yeah, who doesn't love Hamilton Book? My gosh. If they only knew how much how much traffic I have probably generated just to their site, because if they only knew, and how much money I have spent over the years at Hamilton Book. I don't even want to consider. All right, so now we're moving into, this one looked really interesting. It's different. This is The Dancer and the Devil, Stalin, Pavlova, and the Road to the Great Pandemic by John E. O'Neill and Sarah C. Wynn. This is put out by Regnery History. It's not too big of a book. But you know me, I read anything I can get my hands on dealing with Russia, Soviet Union. Of course, my minor in dictators and despots, requires me to read these things. Okay, it says here, communism must kill what it cannot control. So, for a century, it has killed artists, writers, musicians, and even dancers. It kills them secretly, using bioweapons and poison to escape accountability. Among its victims was Anna Pavlova, history's greatest dancer, who was said to have God-given wings and feet that never touched the ground. But she defied Stalin, and for that she had to die. Her sudden death in Paris in 1931 was a mystery until now. The Dancer and the Devil traces Marxism's century-long fascination with bioweapons from the Soviets' leak of pneumonic plague in 1939 that nearly killed Stalin. Too bad. It didn't. To leaks of anthrax at Kiev in 1972 and Ekaterinburg in 1979. Ekaterinburg is where the Tsar and his family were murdered. From the leak of a flu in northeast China in 1977 that killed millions, to the catastrophic COVID-19 leak from biolabs in Wuhan, China. Marxism's dark past must not be apparent to the world's dark future. So, yeah. Got some pictures in the middle there. Anna Pavlova. Won't take real long to read this. I just wanted to see what it had to say about that. I mean, I knew that Russians had poisoned people. They still poison people. Putin poisons people. So, not a big surprise there. Yeah, The Dancer and the Devil. Where am I stacking these? Okay. Oh, and then yes, kind of on the theme of like political writing and essays. I'm just, I enjoy reading, even though some of these are dated, but I think his writing is really tight. This is George Will, American Happiness and Discontents, The Unruly Torrent, 2008 to 2020. And there's our author right there. It's George Will. Big old book, almost 500 pages. Let's see here. In George Will's new collection, he examines a remarkably unsettling 13 years in our nation's experience from 2008 to 2020. Included are a number of columns about court cases, mostly from the Supreme Court, that illuminate why the composition of the federal judiciary has become such a contentious subject. Very true. Other topics addressed include the American Revolutionary War, which is timeless. Essays on that I would love. And some of these other ones as well. Historical figures from Frederick Douglass to JFK, as well as a scathing assessment of how State of the Union addresses are delivered in the modern day. Mr. Will also offers his perspective on American socialists, anti-capitalist conservatives, drug policy, the criminal justice system, climatology, the coronavirus, the First Amendment, parenting, meritocracy and education, China, fascism, authoritarianism, Frank Sinatra, Bob Dylan, the Beach Boys, and the morality of enjoying football. So everything in the kitchen sink, basically, is what's going on in this book. So I'm looking forward to this. I have his book that he wrote recently on conservatism. I haven't read it yet, but sometimes I like just to dip in long enough to read an essay, on my lunch break or whatever. I've got a few minutes and I'm like, you know what? Let me just knock out something real fast. I can do that. I can just read a one-page essay here. Section 3, justice, more or less, sometimes. Yeah, this is going to be good. Aristotle and the bikini-clad baristas. I mean, this could be really funny. So, super cheap on HamiltonBook. Had to pick it up. Where are we at? Okay, and then I want to give a shout out to, we're going to move into some fiction now. I want to give a shout out to Summer over at Sterling Reads, because without Summer gushing about this writer, I never would have come across this series, which I need to dip into. I'm missing, I don't know if this is the first in the series or I think this is the first one. And I'm missing one of the third or the most recent one. Or the second one. Anyway, I'll show you. These are going to be quick reads. I enjoy mysteries, detective stories, thriller series or mystery series that are a series that continue with the same character. I really enjoy those. And so she was just gushing about Alice Henderson and these novels. And so I picked up from HamiltonBook, A Solitude of Wolverines, a suspense novel. And it's funny that Nevada Barr gives the blurb at the top. Back in the day, I was a rabid Nevada Barr fan. I read the entire, I didn't read the entire Anna Pigeon series, but I was up there, like maybe 12 books in. And then she just kind of lost me a little bit. She got a little political, and I was like, oh, God, can you just keep it, to leave the politics out? So Nevada Barr kind of lost me. But I had committed so much time to Anna Pigeon and the National Park Service as the settings of all these different, crimes that she would have to solve. But anyway, so I'm hoping this, is going to be my answer to that vacuum in my life. I don't have those Anna Pigeon novels anymore, but maybe this will be a new one. Front says, alone in the wilderness, she's fit for survival against a human predator. Will she stay alive? So let's see who our new protagonist is. Okay. A propulsive tale of suspense that features a wildlife biologist who courts trouble as she saves endangered species. All right. While studying wolverines in a wildlife sanctuary in Montana, biologist Alex Carter is run off the road and threatened by locals, determined to force her from the land. Undeterred in her mission to help save this imperiled species, Alex tracks wolverines on foot and by cameras positioned in remote regions of the preserve. But when she reviews the photos, she discovers disturbing images of an animal of a different kind. A severely injured man, seemingly lost and wandering in the wilds. After searches for the unknown man come up empty, local law enforcement is strangely set on dismissing the case altogether, raising Alex's suspicions. Then another invasive predator trespasses onto the preserve. The hunter turns out to be another human, and the prey is the wildlife biologist herself. Alex realizes too late that she has seen too much. She's stumbled onto a far-reaching illegal operation and now has become its biggest threat. Sweet. In this wild and dangerous landscape, her life depends on staying one step ahead, using all she knows about the animal world and what it takes to win the brutal battle for survival. Fantastic. And then Alice Henderson, I've never heard of her before. There's our author. Says, in addition to being a writer, she's a wildlife sanctuary monitor, a geographic information system specialist, and a bioacoustician. Don't even know what that is. But I'm going to give this book a whirl, as it were. Thanks, Summer. I think this is the first in the series. And then they had this other, and these hardbacks were cheap. Sometimes they were cheaper than the paperbacks. I'm like, what? Brand new. Don't even have remainder marks. Okay, so this is the third book in the series. The one I'm missing, which I will pick up either from, I'll wait until it comes to Hamilton Book, or I'll pick it up at Book Outlet. The second book in the series is A Blizzard of Polar Bears. So the third one, because I just wanted to get it, to have it. So when I read this one and then the second one, I already have it ready to go. This one is A Ghost of Caribou. Deep in the forest, a killer is lurking, and she is in the crosshairs. Oh my God. Oh, I can't take it. It's too suspenseful. I won't read you the description because I don't want to read any spoilers from the second book. Again, I picked these up because of another booktuber. I know that there's been a lot of booktube videos out there, like books I bought because of other booktubers. Well, these two would be it, and it would be because of Summer. So Summer, if you ever get around to seeing this, thank you very much. Thanks for the recommendation. And then I picked this up just because I happen to love this author. I have reviewed a few of his most recent books, World War II adventure fiction, for different publications. So the books that I've had have been galleys, like arcs. And I just decided I was going to start to pick these up in hardcover when they were marked down. And this is one I haven't read yet. And it's a departure for him because it's set in Vietnam. I believe this is a Vietnam story. This is P.T. Duderman, my friends. And this is The Hooligans. He just has outstandingly detailed World War II novels that are just... P.T. Duderman himself, he is, he was a Navy captain and later a Commodore, so he knows all about the ins and outs of the ships and stuff, and he really does not stint on the detail. Like, it might turn off some people, but I was fascinated, because I felt like I was reading a really authentic novel about what it would be like to be on one of these ships in World War II and stuff. But The Hooligans... These are put up by St. Martin's Press. I thought this one was in the... Wait a second. I take it back, you guys. I thought... I take this back. This is still World War II. I misread something, but I'm still interested in this. But this story was inspired or informed by P.T. Duderman's own experience as a commander of a patrol gunboat in Vietnam. Okay. Okay, so let's go. We're still in World War II. I don't know if he's ever going to write something about Vietnam, but he used his experiences in Vietnam to inform this. The Hooligans fictionalizes the little-known but remarkable exploits of the Hooligan Navy that fought in the Pacific theater of World War II. Loosely organized and fast-moving squadrons, PT boats, and PT stands for Patrol Torpedo Boats, PT, Patrol Torpedo, were the pesky nemesis of the formidable Japanese Navy, dubbed the Mosquito Fleet and Devil Boats for their daring raids against warships, tankers, and transport ships. After the Pearl Harbor raid plunges America into war, young surgical resident Lincoln Anderson enlists in the Navy Medical Corps. His first deployment comes at Guadalcanal in August 1942, when after a brutal sea battle and the landing of Marines on the island, Anderson finds himself triaging hundreds of casualties under relentless Japanese air and land attacks. But with the Navy short of doctors, soon Anderson is transferred to serve with a squadron of PT boats. Wow, this is going to be a good one. From Guadalcanal and the Upper Solomons to the climactic tide-turning Battle of Leyte Gulf, Anderson and the crew members of his squadron's boats confront submarines and surface ships, are attacked from the air by the dreaded Kawanishi flying boats, and are hunted by destroyers. In the end, Anderson accompanies a division of boats in a seemingly impossible mission against a Japanese battleship formation, and learns the true nature of his character. These are really good books, guys. If you enjoy World War II fiction, military history, military fiction, especially with the naval, maritime element, a lot of battles at sea, tactics, strategy, fully authentic. I cannot recommend enough P.T. Duderman, and he keeps cranking them out. I would love to interview this guy, P.T. Duderman. Yeah, I think his most recent one I just did was Ewo 26 Charlie. That one was amazing. I reviewed that for Historical Novels Review, and then I reviewed another one for Historical Novels Review before that. So I've just been on this trend where every time I see one come up, I'm like, I want that one. I want to review it. But this is one of his older ones. And I picked up another, I think I showed it to you in my last haul, The Nugget. And that was about the dive bombers at Midway. Yeah, The Nugget. And then I picked up Sentinels of Fire. So I'm just trying to collect finished copies of these books because I'd like to keep these on my shelves as just, these are great works of World War II adventure and fiction, adventure fiction. So, all right, I've gushed on enough about P.T. Duderman. Now, we've got some big, stay with me, guys, because these last two more books, you like big, immersive historical fiction, and we're talking big books that you can just sink your teeth into and get lost in. Well, I don't know which to, let's just do this one first. Okay. I picked up many of this author's books in paperback. For some reason, I just had to have this in hardcover because the book itself was just so beautiful, and I'm glad I got it in hardcover. And this is Edward Rutherford's most recent book, China. His novel on China, right? Look at this in hardcover. I think this one was cheaper than the trade paperback that they just released. So how many pages do we have here? 764 pages. And I was like, I'd like to have that in a hardcover, I think. Because sometimes with those trade paperbacks, like here's the size of the hardcover. The trade paperbacks are about this high. Like it goes up to here, right? And then it comes down. So the type is very small, and that's what I have for his other books. They're the smaller paperbacks. And I'm sorry, even though I got my eyes checked the other day, and I'm getting a new prescription for my long range vision, but it's a wear and tear. But this has some nice, very nice font sizes, and it's a beautiful book. So let's see. All right, Edward Rutherford has enthralled millions of people with his grand, sweeping historical sagas that tell the history of an iconic place over multiple generations. Now, in China, the novel, he takes readers into the rich and fascinating milieu of the Middle Kingdom, dramatizing the epoch when the colonial greed of Western powers shattered the stability of the 2,000-year-old empire, and the Chinese learned to fight back in ways that echo down to this day. The story begins in 1839, at the dawn of the First Opium War. An English merchant arrives in the restricted port of Canton, the Chinese name is Guangzhou, seeking to make his fortune trading opium. But the tide of addiction is decimating the Chinese population. A young scholar accompanies his Mandarin master on a mission from the emperor to shut down the trade. Thus begins an epic tale chronicling China's conflict to regain its ancient land and culture from the domination of the Western powers. From the Opium Wars through the Taiping Revolt, the British burning of the Summer Palace, the Boxer Rebellion, and the long rule of the Dragon Empress, culminating in the Revolution of 1911 when modern China began to form. Whew, wow, there's a lot going on here. Rutherford chronicles the rising and falling fortunes of members of Chinese, British, and American families as they negotiate the tides of history. Along the way, in his signature style, Rutherford provides a deeply researched portrait of Chinese history and society, its ancient traditions and great upheavals, and China's emergence as a rising global power. We are treated to romance and adventure, battles and intrigues, grinding struggle, and incredible fortune. So it just goes on and on. It just, wow. So I've got Edward Rutherford's most recent book. Very happy to have this in hardcover for fairly cheap. Again, you just can't go wrong with Hamilton Book. Now, this book came online at Hamilton Book, and I said, oh my gosh, I've got to get it. It's even cheaper on Hamilton Book than it was on Book Outlet, which is my backup. I typically... when I start to search for things, if I see it on one site, I'm like, well, what if, if I see a book on Book Outlet, I'm like, well, what if Hamilton Book has it? So then I'll do a search and then I'll compare prices. You should always do that. If you are really trying to watch the budget, compare prices. And that's what I do. All right. This is a big book, and I thought about mentioning this as a potential for March of the Mammoths, but like I told you, I just have I had no time in March to do a mammoth. But I can't wait to read this. This is a fairly new book as well. This came out in 2022. I don't think it got a lot of press. I didn't see much about it. This is from Harper Books, and I should say that Edward Rutherford, publisher for this guy here. Why is it not on the spine? I think it's important. I like to mention who publishes what. This is a double day. Okay. Oh, and this is a first edition, isn't it? You guys, I'm nerding out on camera. I hope you don't mind. Yep. You can always tell right there. First edition. Love it. This is, like I said, from Harper. This book weighs in at 817 pages. Bam, baby. The Falcon's Eyes, a novel of Eleanor of Aquitaine by Francesca Stanfill. Look at this book. Look at this beautiful book. Yes. I'm excited. Set in France and England, at the end of the 12th century, the moving story of a spirited, questing young woman, Isabel, who defies convention to forge a remarkable life, one profoundly influenced by the fabled queen she idolizes and comes to know, Eleanor of Aquitaine. All right. Willful and outspoken 16-year-old Isabel yearns to escape her stifling life in provincial 12th century France. The bane of her mother's existence, she admires the notorious queen whom most in her circle abhor, Eleanor of Aquitaine. Isabel's arranged marriage to Gerard, a rich, charismatic lord obsessed with falcons, seems at first to fulfill her longing for adventure, but as Gerard's controlling nature and his consuming desire for a male heir become more apparent, Isabel, in the spirit of her royal heroine, makes bold, often perilous decisions that will forever affect her fate. A suspenseful, sweeping tale about marriage, freedom, identity, and motherhood, The Falcon's Eyes brings alive not only a brilliant century and the legendary queen who dominated it, but also the vivid band of complex characters whom the heroine encounters on her journey to selfhood. Noble women, nuns, servants, falconers, and courtiers. The various settings, the Chateau Raveneur, Fontevraud Abbey, and Queen Eleanor's exiled court in England, are depicted as memorably as those who inhabit them. The story pulses forward as Isabel confronts one challenge, one danger, after another, until it hurtles to its final enthralling page. It says here, with the historical understanding of Hilary Mantel and the storytelling gifts of Ken Follett, Francesca Stanfill has created an unforgettable character who, while firmly rooted in her era, is also a woman for all times. How about them apples? Okay. This is Francesca Stanfill's third novel. I had no idea. It doesn't list her other books, but here's our author in the back. And I love the end papers, the falcons. So, yeah, if you enjoyed that period of, I've always been fascinated by Eleanor of Aquitaine. So this sounds like it's going to be really good. And it's on Hamilton Book, unless it's sold out. But sometimes they refill. They have things on back order that are, sold out, and they come back online. Anyway, that's my pitch for Hamilton Book. I get nothing. No, I take that back. I do get something. I like knowing that I can hook you guys up with some of these books. If you just go to that site, type in the name, whatever, you are going to find something that is, if you can afford a $6, $7, $8 book that is brand new, that's cheaper than Amazon, or whatever. And it's just, I don't know. It's a great place. So let me know what you think of this HamiltonBook.com book haul. Let me know what you think about the Franklin Library editions. Again, there's a ton of novels. There's a wide variety of Franklin Library books, at least when I went shopping for these, which was about a month ago. So they should still be there. I think I might head on over there right now and see if Vanity Fair is still available. Oh my God. Okay, we're going to go ahead and upload this video. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day and evening, and come back to the history shelf because we've got things are hopping here. They always are. It's great to see you guys. Thanks for being here. Take care. Bye-bye.